Hello, people!
Animals and creatures.
Welcome to Art for Well-Beings.
That's beings with an S. It's plural.
A show to end all shows. A time to watch, learn, listen.
Hear, see, feel, be, do, have.
Art, and more art.
Visual art, human art.
So, without further delay, let's give a warm welcome to our host,
Local celebrity.
Judy Gittleson.
Hello and welcome. For the next 28 and a half minutes, I'll be your host, your guide, your channel changer. Nope, don't change that channel. I'm Judy Gittleson. Welcome to Art for Well-Beings. Art for Well-Beings has been a long time in the making, 53 years, and this is our first show, and I'm very excited to have you here. So I'm going to talk for a few minutes, and then I'm going to be painting, and you're going to watch me paint. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do tonight, and then we're going to do it. We're going to do 3 sections. First section, paint and response. I'm going to paint, and you're going to respond. I'm going to show some really exciting golden paints. Tonight's highlighting interference paint. And then I'm going to show you what I paint, and you can respond to it, post it to our Facebook page, and yes, maybe I will put your painting on our show. Then I'm going to go on to talk about a painting. And tonight, because it's our premiere night and my first show, we're going to do my painting. And after that section, I'm going to show you a very well-being. And tonight's exciting very well-being is Michelle Troutman. And Michelle's been painting with me for 4 years. And she's a really great story and a very well-being. In between these educational, informational spots, we're going to have some interludes by artists. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I don't know if you're familiar with Bob Ross, the other television artist with big hair, but I am not Bob Ross. I can't paint single brushstroke paintings that look like happy trees or even trees very quickly. I'm not magic. And I can't draw. I don't know if Bob Ross could draw either. But with some effort, I can draw okay. Now, Bob Ross is not here, and for that matter, Bob Ross is no longer living, and I am here and I'm alive. So without further ado, let's go to paint and response. Come with me. All right, so Golden Paints, our marvelous sponsor, has brought us here today, and I'm going to start by comparing 2 boards. I'm going to compare a regular backing board and a board where I'm going to paint with black gesso. All right, and just like a cooking show, we're going to have this all sped up so you get to watch the whole thing happening. See, in my right hand, I'm working with black gesso, and I'm just going to nicely cover the whole board. And gesso's really great because it creates a nice smooth surface for the paint to sit on. And why I'm using black is because the colors really zing. So I'm going to cover the whole board, but we're going to speed this up by giving me a finished board in just a second. Okay, I'll go that far. Everybody get what I'm doing? I'm painting black gesso. All right, I'm going to move on to a finished black gesso board, and we've got ready to go, just like that. You can do this at home. And behind me is Dahlia. Can we get a close-up on Dahlia? And Dahlia is a Taiwanese mountain dog, a mutt. And I've selected Dahlia for 2 reasons, because Dahlia is Jim, my co-producer's dog, and Dahlia is sculptural. She's muscular, she's beautiful, and she is a good candidate to work with the interference paint. So now I'm going to show you paint colors. On my palette, I've got Pyrrole Red, my favorite red, Vat Orange, Phthalo Blue, Hansa Yellow. These are the fluid paints, and this is the heavy body. And I'm going to just start painting Dahlia with this orange. And you can see there's her face and her ears. And if you look behind me, I'm doing the one with her tongue out. So I'm just going to paint a little Dahlia. And look how cool it is on the black gesso. And now I'm going to paint the same orange on the backing board so you can see a comparison. Okay, so there we've got the black gesso going. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do Dahlia over here. And see the difference between the vat orange on the two, on the white, it's nice, but on the black, here comes the pyrrole red on there. Okay, now I'm going to go over to phthalo blue and I'm going to work in the back. And we've got these fairly done already too, so I'm going to speed this one up so you can watch. And at home, you can take your time. On TV, because we're TV time here. We've got to keep things moving. The fluids have a really nice hand. They're great for watercolorists. The heavy body, this is the heavy body, holds its brush stroke. Now, acrylic paint dries by evaporation. So here I am in a studio where it's very cool, and this is going to take a bit to dry, so I will exercise this and go to my next board where you can see how I've got Dahlia on a different level. Here's a painting of Dahlia. I don't know which way I'm supposed to point these. And I'm going to keep working on Dahlia a little bit here. This is the white board, the white backing board. And you can see how I paint. I do this in layers. And then I'm going to take the black gesso right here. Now I'm going to work with some titanium white. And you can see how the green and the yellow show through, the green comprised of the Hansa yellow and the phthalo blue. And what I'm really working toward here is how the interference paint is going to react against the black and the white. So now you can paint anything you like, Dahlia or anything. You can use these interference or not, but we're really welcoming and encouraging you to send your paintings to our Facebook page, and that's Art for Wellbeing's Facebook page. And you can link to Art for Wellbeing's, and there will be a forum of other artists showing their work. I'm just going to do a little more work on this, and then we're going to take it to the next stage. And hopefully these will be dry. And it doesn't matter if they're dry, they're all in the same binder, so they'll all work together. And now, here we come with the interferences. Okay, we've got Dahlia here. And look at how nicely the blue lays on top of the black. Okay, so I've created a nice background for Dahlia, a little light and a little black. And we're going to let that move there. All right, now, pretending this were dry, and it doesn't quite matter if it's not, but now I'm going to work in the interference paint. And what's amazing is interference paints are comprised of titanium dioxide wrapped mica platelets. And what happens is when the paint is against a black background, like a puddle in an asphalt with the parking lot, and you walk by and you see that little rainbow with the oil and water, the light reflects and refracts off that, so you get this vibrant color. Now, when we're working with the interference paints, we're going to put them right on top of the dark and light colors, and you're going to see this color shift happening, okay? So here I go with interference blue. Ready for this? Here comes interference blue right on Dahlia's neck, and it's going to blend in nicely, and then right across there. And I'm picking up the wet paint still, the colors that are blending in. Against the light, it looks very pearly, and against the dark, we're going to see how it shifts on the dark. And then I'm going to come in with the interference green right here. I've got the interference green. And hopefully we'll be able to pick that up by our cameras. Okay, and here I'm putting the interference green on her neck right over here. And I don't believe this has ever been done before, on TV that is. All right, so I'm going to use a little interference violet, and we'll see how that plays out. Okay, and now I'm going to hold these up. I'm going to mix a little bit of black in there, and we're going to see if you can see how the interference reacts from your at-home, or if you're not home, wherever you are. Let's see if we can get a color shift out of that. And are we looking up there? Can you see the interference reflecting? And I also have one dry, so you can see that. There's the interference on the black gesso with the layers of paint. And here, this one's really striking too. Can you see how that shifts? And then here's a finished one. Let me show you this one so you can really see how that is. Are you catching that okay? And that was our demonstration of the evening. That's Dahlia in interference paints on black gesso and on white backing board. And now we're going to take you to another black dog. And this is a film by Greg Gatwood called Planet Daisy. And are we ready for Planet Daisy? Yes, we are. Hi, and we're back. And that was one Daisy, and that was a film by Greg Gatwood. Thank you, Daisy, and myself. And now to another Daisy. This is a painting of my daughter, Daisy. And for her 13th birthday, I decided that instead of a bat mitzvah, she was going to get a painting. And this is a painting called Swaddle the Girl. I'm going to tell you about the origins, the transformations, and then where it is now. When I started this painting, I conjured up 3 of our cats, Moonshine, Flower, and Pinball, as her guides into young adulthood. And they morphed, one of my favorite words from the Power Rangers television show, into 3 young women who were all 6 years older than Daisy, Vanessa, Marissa, and Lindsay. And originally these 3 were right here. Here was Marissa, there was Lindsay, and here was Lindsay and there was Vanessa. And Daisy was moving into young adulthood, and she was on a horizon. The bird and the duck sort of appeared. And the coolest thing about painting is that you start with one intention, and then it moves. And it became, I talked to one painter, and they said, oh, our job is to clarify things, to go straight forward, to be clean with our expression. So what I did was I moved those 3 guides away, and it became about Daisy. And it's as if the duck is talking into her ear and the bird is listening, or something like that. And what I like about this is that the atmosphere and Daisy are connected, that there is no separation between the atmosphere and Daisy. And the red hair, someone said, oh, does she have red hair? And no, she doesn't really have red hair, but there's something about the color red that's really exciting. What I also found about this painting that came out of it, I was looking at Daisy a lot, but what I found was that she's mid-expression. And what happens with mid-expression is a narrative becomes. Where's she going? What's she about to say? Is she about to utter something? Is she about to respond to something? So it's really interesting how you start somewhere and then your painting moves you elsewhere. This painting is called Swaddle the Girl, and I see that as a parent you always want to carry your child closely and then you want to sort of send them off too. So that is our segment called About a Painting. Next we're going to tell you about A Very Well-Being. And this is our today's well-being, Michelle Troutman. And Michelle has been painting with me for 4 years. Her aunt placed an ad on Craigslist saying, looking for an art teacher, and I went to Michelle's home and I handed her a brush and said, start painting, and she whispered to her mother, is there something she doesn't know? And let's watch. Today's very well-being is Michelle Troutman. Try not to touch any other colors, okay?
So only in the white areas. That's great. Whoa, look at that range.
Look at that. On your mark, get set, go. Oh, that's a pretty color. I'm going to rotate the brush for your next 15 seconds. There you go. Very good. Now all on white area. This is black. Wow, look at her. So you're going to go up over here. See where I'm going? All the way as far as you can outside here. Okay? All right. Excellent. And you can take a break if you need, and I can move the easel. Ooh. And usually Judith is very instrumental in these things. So look at Michelle go. Okay, let's take a break and rotate the brush. Can you keep going down from here? Outside the yellow. There you go. Excellent. In that, Michelle, I drew a triangle on the board and you copied the triangle, and that was spatially and manipulatable, or whatever word for that is. Manipulatable wise, an amazing leap. And then the other piece of this was you were doing inside and outside, and that hand-eye was really big too, and you did the inside one color and the outside another color.
Oh, I had never done hand-eye coordination before in my life. That was always hard for me because when you're disabled, when you're able-bodied, your hands and your eyes go together. When you're disabled, there's kind of a disconnect between the eyes and the hands. So this was the first time with Judy that I was able to say, okay, this is what my hand is doing and this is where my eyes are going. A woman wood sprite is in love with a male wood sprite. Romantic, flirtatious, seductive, come hither look. He tentative, drawn to the unknown, enchanting, alluring, a forest in bloom, romantic. Joey's performance was the full embodiment of what I was wanting when I painted the Wood Sprites and Loves painting. It was a direct translation from hand to body of what I would have done had I been able-bodied and been able to dance that way.
I'm conversing with you, Michelle.
And I'm conversing with you, Judy.
And we're conversing about your mother, Judith. And so we decided to do collaborative portraits of your mother.
Yes, we did.
And we each paint on our painting for a little while.
Yes, we do.
And then we switch.
and we add on to each other's.
Right. Excellent. All right. Let's
What
see
you're
if-
saying is you want a bigger head.
Yeah. Let's see if you can go like that.
Okay.
So now what I'd love for you to do is to do hair in soft and curvy, so that you have just an area up. And let me get some water off there. Just an area that's as big as you can of just her hair. And I'm going to go along and paint the same. I'm going to give you a little more paint to switch, but here's the hair and the eyes, and this soothing blue is just lovely. All right, so I'm going to take Michelle's painting, and Michelle's going to take my painting.
Each new painting that I do on my mom builds on my skill set too. So with each new painting, it increases my ability level, and it increases my confidence mostly on what I'm able to accomplish in my painting journey.
And I'm back. And thank you, Michelle. And that video was done by Audrey Daniel. And Michelle and her mother, Judith, and I have worked together for 4 years. And they have informed me and trained me as a teacher. And the last series of collaborative pieces has been really exciting. Michelle, prior to working with me, was told that she would not use her hands for anything other than page turning and button pushing. And you saw in there that Michelle showed about 30 pieces of work that she had painted, or 30 pieces of paintings. And Audrey has done many videos of Michelle, and she's really quite an artist. Now I'm going to bring you Mike Riley's In Out. And here comes...
In, out, in, out, in, tea parties, out, crystal meth orgies, in, complexity, out, complete overwhelm, in, glue guns, out, Photoshop, in, reflective ambient light, out. Hello? Hello, is anyone there? In, Helvetica Condense. Out, Futura Bold. In, facial hair. Out, disposable razors. In, Alexander Gerard and Butt Magazine. In, mutual masturbation. Out, IKEA, Bank of America, and General Motors. In, natural tones juxtaposed with vivid or fluorescent colors, offset by neutrals, perhaps charcoal gray. In, 2010, out, 2012. In, out, in, out. In, going to the movies. In, sleeping with strangers. In, letting go. Out, hanging on. In, Paris. Out, Walnut Creek. In, exploring the world within. Out. In, sleeping, out, waking up.
Well, thank you, Mike. And that was In Out by Mike Riley. So this was our first show, and we're ahead of schedule, which is amazing. But anyway, TV time, I'm getting used to it. We're headed for prime time. I just want to make that clear. But let's review who we've seen and what we've seen. Art and, what is it? Art and more art. And we saw my painting. We saw me painting for Golden, and Golden Paints is our great sponsor, and the paints are extraordinary. We saw Greg Gatwood's film, Planet Daisy. Then we saw, what else did we do? We saw Audrey's film of A Very Well-Being, Michelle Troutman, artist Michelle Troutman. And we saw Mikey Riley's In Out video. And we're going to keep bringing you your work, too, because if you send in, oh, this is a reminder, send in your paintings for our Facebook page, Art for Well-Beings, and you can see other people working with the materials. I'll also post the materials on the Facebook page so you can see what we used. And the studio, Art for Well-Beings, is home to a lot of really exciting artists, and you can come visit us and paint. And let's see, what else do you want to know? Well, there's lots to talk about in the world of art, and we'll bring you other artists. We'll show you more videos. And I think the coolest thing about this show is that it is bringing together all these people that I've worked with for years. And here we are in the studio, and we're getting used to cable TV, and we've got out in the audience all of you, and I look forward to seeing you next month. And I hope you keep doing art every day, and it's been wonderful to be with you. Thank you.